Checkmate. Muslims turn on the vaccine because it's not halal. Trump signs a fourth historic peace deal. And the Supreme Court throws out the Texas lawsuit to overturn the election. This is The Arc with Romeo Georges.
Hello, everyone.
Romeo, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Joel. How are you?
You're not Ricardo. Did you eat him? What happened to him?
Meet Ricardo, Lieutenant Colonel SAS.
Yeah.
The best, me.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to put you in a box. You worked in the military too, didn't you? For a bit?
But there's different standards of military.
Where did you serve?
Man, I was a truck driver, 8.6. You know, and I had a good attempt at trying to become special forces, but
Yeah.
you know, due to Arab parents,
Yeah.
and they're worried that you know, their single son might die.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of hurdles I had to jump over, and I just got tired.
Yeah.
You know, jumping over hurdles, try to become a commando is one thing. Jumping over hurdles your mum puts in front of you is a totally different story.
That's completely different.
Yeah, totally.
So what have you been up to? Can you quickly give us a 1 minute on where you've been? What have you been up to? Because the last time we chatted, it was back in when was it? August.
Yeah.
And we did the first sort of episode with you on my right and Ricardo on my left.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that interview did very well. I think it's approaching 10,000 views. So we might have to do that very soon again.
Why not? It's anytime. You know, I've always got time for you, John.
Yeah. but what have you been up to?
Basically investigating this vaccine. I am not a non-vaxxer. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I just like to research stuff, and that led me down to, you know, being involved with the protests down in Sydney. Worked out very, very well, even though we got a lot of, not a lot, but some negative views. But that's okay. It's expected. I thank everybody that rocked up. The numbers weren't as big as the May one, I think it was, but they weren't that much less. Maybe,
Yeah.
I think 100 less or something. But the turnout was, to me, exceptional because everyone that came were very, very well informed. We're not talking about people who are fence sitters. They've done their research. They know what this is about.
Yeah.
And they just came down in full support. And, you know, like that... Afghani king that once said, you know, I'd rather send 5 lions instead of 500 sheep.
Yeah.
And to me, those people there that day were, you know, 400 or 500 lions. And it's very empowering and very humbling at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. I've also, you know, been working with you, and together we dropped that bombshell.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? The vaccine.
You shocked it. You shocked the living daylights out of me.
That's the most consequential video I've done so far. It scared the bejesus out of me, and you got my live reaction on camera with that. I don't know if you could tell how surprised I was.
Yeah, I mean, just that live that we did went spastic. You know, it just went, whew. And it was really, all we said was, we just touched on a few little points.
Yeah.
Really didn't go into much detail except to explain to everybody and it's just gone crazy. So I'd really like to know what would happen if yourself, Ricardo Bosi, and myself actually went into details exactly what this government is up to.
Yeah.
How many Australians would be walking around with their jaw just on the ground or in a fetal position in a corner somewhere, realising that their government has betrayed them? So that's what I've been up to in the last few months.
Yeah. Exciting 2021 from the sounds of it. I think you're going to have a very packed year.
I hope so, because I'm not doing this for myself. I prefer just to drive my truck, make my living and come home and enjoy my family.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for my children. I'm trying to be an example to fellow parents that it's not just about providing financial support. It's about providing support for the future, laying proper foundations for our children to step on. I had a picture in my house, and, you know, due to my wife getting bored of our interior design, that disappeared. But for a very long time, I had a picture that said, the land does not belong to you, you borrow it from the children. So I took that. I love that saying. And when you borrow something, you take care of it. You know, because if you take it back or give it back to the owner, and it's broken, you got to pay for it.
That's right.
So I want parents to realise that take care of it, because in life you won't pay for it, your children will.
That's right. Absolutely. Mabruk. Absolutely.
You know?
I can't wait for 2021. It's going to be a crazy year. I think that it's going to be very fascinating seeing what happens with the COVID lockdown, seeing how that develops. Because I have a bit of a worry that next year is going to turn, like we're going to talk about 2020 for years, decades, even maybe even centuries to come as being
the great toilet famine.
Exactly. And my worry is that it's going to end up turning into 2020, 2021, because it's like the plague years, if you know what I mean. Do you ever have that worry?
Yeah. I have the worry that we're going to have COVID 21, COVID 22, and you know, it's and the media and governments around the world are making so much money that, you know, they're going to turn it into an industry. You know, it's a money making machine, and I'm surprised that any political leader, doesn't matter how strong he is. For example, Donald Trump, the leader of the free world.
Yeah.
You think is untouchable.
No.
And he's been made out to be an absolute Looney Tune.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to give, he wanted to be strong. He wanted to be an example for the Western world that I'm 77 years old. Maybe he did play the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got COVID, and then 3 days later I'm fit as a fiddle. And he was made out by the left and the media to be a Looney Tune. A few years ago, he would have been made a god.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we're heading, and this is what we've got to do to try and stop. You know, wake up, realise that it is all about money, but it's not money for you or me. It's money for them. Yeah.
And I mean, there have been some very fascinating things developing with the vaccine, as we talked about before. And this is our first bit of news. And you mentioned this to me, and I started looking into it. The MUI issued a fatwa on COVID-19 vaccine. What does that mean? Well, that basically means that the COVID-19 vaccine, or the Pfizer vaccine, is not halal.
Yeah.
Checkmate. So I'll read out the title on this, guys. The Indonesian Ulman Council Assessment Institute for Foods, Drugs and Cosmetics and Halal Certification have finished a study on the halal status of a possible COVID-19 vaccine. They found that there isn't any COVID-19 vaccine that is halal. The vice president of this organization explained a very important thing about this. He said that if the vaccine is halal, then it's good. There's no problem. But if it's not halal, that's also not a problem, he said in a statement on October 2nd. Because this is an emergency situation, it's okay for use, and even though it's a non-halal vaccine. So it seems like it's non-halal, they recognize that. However, because there's no alternative halal certified vaccine, they're like, okay, it's an emergency, we need to break the glass on this and just use it. But isn't that fascinating? Because I think you mentioned to me, it's because there's aborted fetus cells in there.
Yes.
What do you think is going to come out of all this?
Any true Muslim, and I'm not talking about the extremists, you know, the terrorists that everybody wants to bag.
Yeah.
I'm talking about peace-loving, Quran reading, love their neighbour, which I have a lot of them in my life. If they are true Muslims, they wouldn't believe this.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the chemicals in it. It's whether it's blessed by a sheikh or not. The chemicals that are used are more than just not halal. They're against, you know, I mean, we're talking about aborted baby, cannibalism, right? Now, not just the Muslims. I want to touch on the Christians as well. You understand that it's a sin to inject something into your body, because as Christians, our body was made by God. It belongs, you know, our soul is, and you know, there's a lot of things that we do, you know, that consider us sinners. But as Christians, we have a God that's forgiving. But I hope that going back, that's Christians as well, but Muslims need to be true to their faith and true to themselves, right? And understand that whether a sheikh blesses it or not, it's made from something that is an abomination in the eyes of God. It's that simple. And if they truly believe in their faith and are truly people of God, they would denounce this and do not accept it and actually accept death before this.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see how this develops, won't it?
You know?
Yeah.
But with all due respect, everyone has a price. What is the price of the leaders of Islam? We will find out.
Yeah. So we have been very interested about the US election and what's been going on there.
Has there been anything more interesting?
I know, right? It's like, find me a TV show that's larger than life than this. You won't find it. Now, last we left off, there were the swing states which still had their lawsuits ongoing. Very frustrating covering those week to week. Nothing really moving forward. Over this last week, we mentioned that there was a Texas lawsuit which came out, and that was where Texas was saying that it was unconstitutional that a lot of these swing states changed the rules to their voting, their mail-in voting last minute.
Illegal?
Exactly, because Texas did it legally. They went through the normal constitutional process.
And who won?
Who won?
Thank you.
Yep, Joe Biden, apparently.
Thank you kindly.
And so this is the problem we've got. We've got a situation where one state's saying, no, your illegal votes have nullified our own votes. We did it properly. We did it constitutionally. If we needed to amend our constitution, we did it properly. Yet these swing states like Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, you did not do it properly. We need to sue you guys and basically render this. So they took it straight to the Supreme Court. There were 20 states that took the side of Texas. As you can see now, guys, these are the states that backed Texas in red. There were 20 of these states which said basically, we back Texas on this. It was unconstitutional and you guys need to fix this up. And then, as you can also see, you got the blue states as well saying that, no, we oppose this. It's perfectly fine. We don't want you to ruin or throw out the legitimate votes of these mail-in votes that have happened. And so we're at an impasse. So it's 20 versus 20 states, and then we had a few states stay out of it. Now, this is the problem. The Supreme Court, they didn't even listen to the case. They just threw it out. They said, you don't have standing. What does that mean? That means that it's like you're a third party. You have nothing to do with this case. If Donald Trump sued, that would make sense, but he's not. This is Texas, and Texas has nothing to do with Pennsylvania or these other swing states. And so it didn't even get heard. So we had a situation where Donald Trump tweeted that Justice Alito and Thomas, these are two of the judges on the Supreme Court, said that they would have allowed the Texas lawsuit to proceed with its election lawsuit. He said, this is great and disgraceful, and a disgraceful miscarriage of justice. The people of the United States were cheated and our country disgraced, never even given our day in court. And we've got Justice Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, who were silent on the Supreme Court decision on Texas. That's not good. That is not good at all, guys, is it? I mean, we have the Chief Justice, Justice Thomas, basically saying, well, I would have heard it, guys.
Okay. I'm going to throw a Hail Mary out there, Get ready, Joel.
Hit me.
What about if they were asked to stay quiet? Because everybody seems to forget that had this gone to the Supreme Court and Trump won, the media's going to come out and say the Supreme Court was bought. They were paid off.
Yeah.
Or they outnumber them, I think, 7? Is it 7-2?
Yeah, 6-3.
6-3.
Yeah, 6-3 right now.
The Republicans sticking up for themselves. I mean, this is not right. Then we'd probably end up getting a countersuit from the Democrats.
Yeah.
And it's going to go on. What about if Trump said to him, stay quiet?
Yeah.
Lose.
Yeah.
Then we go to Senate. We get the college votes. And all I need is for 2 senators to stand up and say, I oppose this vote.
Yeah. Maybe.
Leave it up to Pence.
Yeah, maybe. Look, this is basically what happened, guys. So because this case didn't go through, there are other cases which we're still waiting on in these swing states. But as a result, you mentioned that we had the electoral college votes get tallied this week on the 14th.
Do you know who won?
Do I know who won? No, I don't.
Can somebody please tell me how come the media know that Biden won?
They don't.
Apparently the votes are in envelopes that are sealed and will not be open till January 2nd.
That's right.
Yet I've got Australian media. Joel, can I swear?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I can mute it.
How the does Australian media know who won the college electoral votes? Can somebody explain that to me?
Yeah, no.
Right? Are they? I don't know. There's a few people that can see the future on Channel 9.
Yeah, yeah.
Like seriously, the hypocrisy is incredible.
It's insane.
It's just the stupidity.
I know
that these left believe Biden has won the electoral, and then in the same paragraph, votes will be counted on the 6th of January.
Yeah.
So you don't know who won.
No, they don't. The hubris is amazing.
Anyway,
so the graph we've got up now that everyone can see is basically the states that. This is what we think we know. These are the envelope that you're talking about because on the 14th, guys, what ends up happening is they get the envelope. They all put their the electors get sent from these states. Yeah. For example, California has 55 electors that get sent. They all put their votes in these envelopes, and they get sealed, and they get opened on the 5th.
5th, yeah, and it's read out on the 6th.
Yeah, it's read out on the 6th. So. This map shows you the states that we know sent electors for Trump and which ones sent electors for Biden. Obviously red and blue. Yep. Now the ones in grey is Nevada. Places where they sent both. Yeah. Where there's a dispute. Now what does that mean? That means the votes are going to nullify themselves, and both candidates are going to get over 270. Yeah. So basically, Pence, as you alluded to, is going to have to pick on January 6th which way he goes. Which ones will he throw out? And if he decides to throw them out, then that means the Supreme Court might have to change it or approve it or whatever, depending on who challenges it. Interesting times, guys. And you said that, so the actual process it isn't actually 2 senators. It's one person from the House, one person from the Senate for each state. So if someone disputes the Pennsylvania one, it's someone from the House, which we have. We've got someone who's willing to do it. We're still waiting on someone from the Senate. Maybe it's happened while I've been speaking, but they're looking at people like Rand Paul or Ron Paul to put that through. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe Ted Cruz will back one of them. We will see, but
just need to.
Yeah, just 2. That's it. Simple. Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. We will see what happens, and they are obligated to debate the state for 2 hours if it's challenged. So that would give the opportunity for some evidence to be
even if it's undecided.
Yeah,
after 2 hours of debate.
Yeah,
he will stand on the floor.
Yeah,
and say what he has to say. Right, he is the ultimate power.
Yeah.
And I was watching a YouTube documentary, and I must say, God bless the forefathers of America, because they knew that one day this might happen.
Yeah.
So Pelosi has no power. Bye, darling. Go put your makeup on, whatever you want to do. Get the hell out of here, you old bag.
Yeah.
Right. Seriously, man. I mean, I used to think vampires were
a myth.
Yeah, but nobody can stop him. So to the left, say what you must, do what you have to.
Yeah.
But in the end, come the 6th of January, I will be saying, how do you like me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't understand how we won more seats. It just
doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't make sense.
We've run through on the show all the irregularities. It doesn't make sense that that Obama won less votes than this guy. It doesn't make sense that Obama won more counties. He won almost almost two times more counties than Biden, yet Biden got a higher vote. None of this makes sense.
But Joel, we are living in a society where it is normal to accept what does not make sense.
Yeah.
We are living in a society where a child comes home and his mum says to him, "What did you do today?" And he said, "My friends jumped off the bridge." And instead of the mum saying, like our parents said to us, just because your friends jump off a bridge, you don't jump off a bridge, she will actually be saying, "Why didn't you jump off the bridge?" This is the society that we live in.
Yeah.
It is normal, and it's accepted that we accept something that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Accept it.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
It's you know what? If we don't laugh,
Yeah.
you'd seriously be crying.
We'd be crying. That's right. So we'll see how this develops, won't we? This next few weeks, with these states. I mean, isn't that spicy? The fact that these states sent contesting electors over. It's going to be very, very interesting. And you know what? Trump's not going to be happy if he comes through. He's going to be firing a ton of people. Going to be getting rid of a ton of them.
I'm going to be rubbing my hands like a leprechaun above a pot of gold. You know, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Because so many people right now do not just deserve to be fired, but they need to be arrested, imprisoned, and not just imprisoned in maximum security, in a hole with a little light for air, a bullet hole, just so air can get through. You know, we are dealing with substandard demonic human beings whose ultimate goal is to destroy humanity the way we know it and have utter, total power without being liable for anything they do. And I believe what you are seeing, guys, is a battle between good and evil.
Yeah, it truly is.
This is a mythical, this is something that will be written about in many years to come. And our children and our children's children will be told when the world actually fought to keep the light. Because we're about to have darkness fall upon us. And this might sound like, Lord of the Rings stuff. It does.
It is. It is.
But it is.
Yeah, it is. It actually
We have a man that suffers from dementia.
Yeah.
We have a man that does not remember the name of his own wife.
Yeah.
Right? Being considered as the next great leader of the free world.
I know.
This man should be considered to be put into a nursing home.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a woman who went out of her way with Biden, Harris, to keep an innocent man in jail because it did not agree with their agenda.
That's right. She withheld the evidence.
Wake up, guys.
Yeah.
Right? To all the left, and I've heard it many, many times, Donald Trump is a misogynistic, egotistic rapist. Donald Trump is a multi-billionaire. Right? He made himself due to good business deals. And he took that ability to make good business deals and used it to make America great again. He really did.
Yeah.
He created jobs, whether the left like it or not. They can sit in their corner and do their heroin for all I care.
Yeah.
The truth is the truth. You might not like the guy. In real life, he might be a prick. I might not like him. But I am not judging him upon his personality. I'm judging him on what he's achieved for America. And that's what you're supposed to do as a leader. Many generals have said, my men may not like me, but they respect me because I kept them alive. They don't like what I do to keep them alive, but I keep them alive and they respect me for it. So stop telling me he's a rapist. He's raped no one. Stop telling me that he's murdered innocent babies. Where? He wasn't the president of America when America invaded Syria, invaded Iraq, invaded every single Middle East. He was not the president. He's the first president in 71 years not to cause war upon any nation, and actually pushed to have his men and sons and daughters brought back home. So you can take your leftist agenda and all that stuff and shove it where the sun doesn't shine, because the truth is in front of us, and I'm sick of everybody seeing the truth and saying it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah.
It's I'm over it.
Yeah, it is. It's absolute crap. And I mean, building on your point, we had a situation this week where we've also found a situation where Joe Biden, it's very clear that
I'm getting pissed.
I know, I can tell. And we've got a situation where the Times magazine said the person of the year is two people. Not Donald Trump, of course, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I decided to chuck Xi Jinping in there as well.
Say it again. I was concentrating on the whiskey.
No, that's all right. Mate, everyone still thinks it's whiskey. It's because of people like you. Oh, dear. You know, in our very first podcast with Ricardo, he cracked a joke saying it was whiskey. Yeah. But by the way, guys, just a side note. This is from a subscriber of the show who wrote 1 million for the first million followers we got on the show. We're fast approaching 5 million. Before the end of the year, we will reach 5 million. The next milestone is 10 million. I don't know when we'll reach that, but now? You reckon right now on the live stream?
Right now.
Let's do it. Why not? That is Scotch, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm wearing my father's gold watch to celebrate that you will today reach the 10 million today.
That's going to be amazing.
My dad and your dad, God rest both their souls, they're here. They're pushing for us.
Yeah.
You know, I may be a little bit more grayer.
Yeah.
It might have taken me a lot more time to actually stand up and represent the Australian people with dignity and respect. But I'm proud of you. Remember that, Joel. I told you a long time ago, if me and Jemana had made love straight away, maybe I would have had a son the same age as you. It's your fault, Jemana.
Maybe you did. So we just don't know about
the bloody wedding was so tiring.
Let's get back to this. Trump has unleashed on his administration. I'm trying to move on as quickly as possible.
I'm sure my wife is shaking her head right now.
Will this make the cut? Maybe, guys, maybe. Go back and record this. This might not make the cut. Yeah. This week we found out that Bill Barr, the Attorney General in the Trump administration, resigned. Why? Because it turns out that there was an investigation that's been going on for over 6 months into Hunter Biden and his ties with overseas companies, like within China. CCP. And Bill Barr didn't tell anyone when it was relevant to the election. Why not? Well, I don't know, guys. I don't know. And so he's resigned or been fired or however you want to interpret it. And I think this is the sign of things to come if it turns out Trump pulls this off.
He's the first to go. But I read an article that somebody's not really sticking up for him, but they were sort of trying to understand why. Look, he's a big man.
Yeah.
But he wasn't up to the job.
Yeah.
Right? When push comes to shove, he got shoved out of the way and he crumbled. He might have been a great man back in the day.
Yeah.
But he's lost a lot of his power. And that's maybe... You know, who knows? He could have been threatened. Doesn't have the backup he used to. So he kept quiet.
I kind of liked Bill Barr, to be honest. I don't know why he sat on that. I'm baffled, bamboozled even. But it is a shame to see him go, but I just wish he did a bit more, you know? I really do.
I wish a lot of people did a bit more.
Of course.
We are facing a side of humanity where debating the truth doesn't work, and assassination is the way to go. It's their tactic.
Yeah.
I mean, your Syrian Arabic background, I'm Syrian Lebanese background, I'm Lebanese background, and we know what threat of assassination does to the game of politics. It turns lions into sheep real quickly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I believe that this man was once a lion who turned into a sheep when... And it's not necessarily saying to him, because I believe that any man that is threatened with death would stand up and do the right thing. But I believe that they play their game where they say, maybe you won't see your daughter tomorrow. That's...
Who knows?
That's the twig that breaks your ankle.
Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? I don't have any other evidence to suggest otherwise, but
I don't.
But a lot of people are under pressure, and I get worried when I see this stuff. But look, it's not looking good, guys, so far. Assuming it's still a long shot. It's still a long shot that Trump wins this. However, he is still getting on with the job while he's still
Done
there.
a lot of great things.
Exactly, and this week we saw that Trump announced his 4th Arab state to make peace with Israel. Morocco, which
I've been looking for a Moroccan restaurant. Can't find any.
You're kidding.
Seriously, I'm going to take Jumana on Friday night to Morocco.
You're kidding.
We went, they're all closed. Bloody COVID.
Bloody COVID. I'm gonna have to
Go ahead, we'll get back to being serious.
gonna have to normalize relations there. That's bad.
That's excellent.
So this is the 4th peace deal.
Yeah.
That's happened. The other ones that happened was with the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Sudan with Israel as well.
That's massive. Sudan.
One
of the most hard-driven nations against Israel. I mean, they send their soldiers over anywhere to fight against Israel. So that's a huge nation. That's massive.
Absolutely.
UAE, Bahrain. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, they're already there.
Arab, they love the...
They already did, That's right.
Sudan and now Morocco.
Yeah.
That's massive.
Exactly. And let's not forget, Egypt's already... They've normalised for a very long time.
Mate, anybody that knows anything about Egypt, I mean, there is pure and utter hatred towards Israel by both sides. You know, I mean, Israel towards Egypt, the 6-Day War led by Egypt, and some Egyptians were betrayed, and there's pure and utter hatred. And to see this it's like peace, finally. Live and let live.
Yeah.
You know, live and let live.
Yeah.
You know, but what gets me the most is while he's achieving all of this, how is the media betraying Donald Trump while he is achieving all of this?
Yeah.
He's crying, he's upset, he's sooking. Really, for a person that cries and sooks and carries on, I don't want to give it up. Look what he's achieving.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish I could cry and sook that much as well.
This is a first. Like, I mean, these are significant peace deals. They really are. Yeah.
And they're binding. Nobody wants to talk about... Because everybody in this situation, both Israel, Morocco, Egypt, the UAE, Bahrain, Sudan, they are all going to benefit from this financially, growth-wise.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, there's a lot more Arab nations that are jumping at the chance to say, hey, can we be part of this?
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping Lebanon will be as well, which my channels are telling me that this could be on the cards as well. But I don't know. You know, this is conspiracy theory now, so I don't like to go down that way.
Yeah.
But I want to make a perfect example of what happens to a nation when it makes peace with its neighbour. I'm not saying Israel, right? I'm saying a neighbour.
Yeah.
Jordan. Is there anybody that's been to Jordan? What a nation. An Islamic nation.
Yeah.
Yet open, free, respectful. Got a lot of friends that live there who are Christians. They said we are respected. We have a beautiful life. Our king is open-minded. He doesn't insult anyone. We don't insult anyone. This is what happens when you reach out for peace.
Yeah, yeah.
You breed love.
Yeah.
You know? Hopefully one day if the king would invite me to Jordan, I wouldn't mind going just to bathe in the Black Sea.
I'm sure. I think it was... I can't remember which philosopher said this, but he said, where trade doesn't cross borders, armies will.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right, that makes sense. So this is very good to see, but unfortunately at this rate, I must reiterate, guys, we need to see some of this evidence brought before the courts. We need that. Yeah. I mean, believe it or not, we haven't seen any case so far of Trump's dismissed on the merits. It's always been dismissed on procedure. You have no standing. You have no this. You have no that. The paperwork you completed is not done properly. That is not what has happened so far, where we've had merits gone through and the judge has thrown it out. So at this stage, until that happens, I'll keep reiterating this point. It looks like Joe Biden's going to be confirmed on January 20th. They need to get their butts into gear right now. So it does look like a number of findings have been coming out. In 2013, Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden flew aboard Air Force Two to China. 10 days later, Hunter Biden, his firm, inked a $1.5 billion deal with the Chinese government and Bank of China, and the source of that is Secret Empires. Isn't that funny, guys? More of this. You're going to see more of this because Hillary Clinton had the Clinton Foundation. Joe Biden and the Biden family, he basically uses his family to do that. So Hunter Biden gets all of these jobs where he gets 80 grand a month, and then what happens? Then he ends up paying for a bunch of stuff like the house and this and that.
The
backhander, exactly. And we saw with a lot of the leaked emails that came out, there were emails from Joe Biden's daughter, which basically said, I can't do this anymore. I don't like paying for everything. I'm carrying the team because she was getting a lot of the benefits and this and that. And look, that's just, it's very disgusting to see the swamp guys, but that's what they voted for. 100 million people don't like Joe Biden. That's the progressives and the conservatives. Okay. And until people realize that this is a rebellion against the establishment, we're going to keep going against it, and the establishment will keep winning like this.
Joe Biden is the puppet. Somebody's got their hand up his butt.
Yeah.
He's not going to last.
No, he won't.
That's not kid out. He's not going to. He's a puppet.
Yeah.
Right? But it suits whoever's controlling everything for our hatred to be pointed at this man.
Yeah.
Because what they're doing is using Biden to consume the hatred, only to throw that hatred away and step up through Harris. Right? It's there. He has a son that has pictures snorting cocaine off a child.
Yeah.
Okay? The pictures are there.
Yeah.
Right? We have pedophilia. This man himself thinks that introducing himself to someone is smelling their hair.
Yeah.
Right? The closest thing, I did research to find out, are there any customs that do that? I think the Maori touch nose.
Yeah.
I'd respect the man if you want to touch my nose. But come up to me and smell my hair.
Oh, it's weird.
Or smell my daughter's hair. I would bitch slap him straight across the room.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And you hear all this crap.
This is accepted.
Yeah, and you hear all this crap about, these allegations that Donald Trump has raped women and this and that. This guy in the White House, Joe Biden in the White House, been touching women inappropriately and sniffing their hair, and you see the kids pulling away, and it's disgusting.
What happened to the woman that came out and said in the corridor of the White House, he put her up against the wall and put his hand up her legs? In between her. What happened to her? She did one interview and then disappeared.
Tara Reid?
Right?
Was that her name?
Yes.
Tara Reid. Yeah. We all forgot about that.
Oh, everyone. But people still going on about that. Trump, in a room, in a change room, playing golf, said to his mate, do the, what was it? The fanny grab? Or what was it?
Yeah, I just grab her by the...
Yeah. Okay. It's not a nice thing to say. I'm not sticking up for it.
No, not at all. But this is 40 years ago.
Let's put this in perspective.
Yeah.
A bunch of idiots probably drunk, millionaires, billionaires, having too much to drink.
Yeah.
Game of golf.
Yeah.
In the room, nobody around.
Yeah. They're on a bus, just having a chat. Locker room.
Sometimes we just don't think, and we say stupid stuff.
It's not just men either. Women to women. You should hear some women when they're in their groups talk. We act like it's just guys, just locker room talk. But I mean, girls.
Some women will, they leave the room. They're merry, Mother Mary or Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later you go, well,
Yeah. Well, isn't that what they said about the Catholic girls? You always want a Catholic girl because in the bedroom. Anyway, I won't go there. But no, look, with the situation with...
God bless the Catholic girls.
God bless
all
the
girls.
30 years ago, that was when that thing came, the grabbing by the pee thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, was he in elected office? No.
No.
Was Joe Biden on camera in the White House as a vice president when he did all of those things? Yes.
Where is the footage?
It's all there. It's all on YouTube. Check it out. It's so easy. Joe Biden.
There you go.
Sniffing, grabbing.
But I asked that to get you to say that.
Ha. Of course,
Guys,
of course
everything
you know.
is there in front of you. You
Yeah.
just have to go looking for it.
And perhaps this is the scariest part of all, because it's like it's right there and still nothing is done. It's like so much for the Me Too movement. It's like you just elected this person. Well done.
But can we go down this Me Too movement?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Fang it.
I've always been brutally honest and very straightforward.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, all these actresses, now, what's his name? That director? Forget his name. The one that got imprisoned.
Oh.
That scumbucket. That he's an absolute
Oh,
filthy.
Epstein?
No, that's Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey? Who's that? Which
Weinstein.
Weinstein. Oh, Weinstein, yeah.
The movie mogul.
Yeah, yeah.
What he did was disgusting.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. You know, if any of those actresses had a boyfriend, I'm surprised that he's, but one of them said that, sorry guys, I'm already swearing, so who cares?
Yeah.
That he followed her into the hallway in between the men's toilets and the females' toilets, and he masturbated in front of her. While that's a disgusting act, and you must be mentally unstable to do such a thing, may I ask, what the hell did you stand there and stay standing there? Why didn't you scream? Why didn't you run away?
Yeah.
Was it because you were promised a $20 million film deal?
Yeah, yeah.
And now that the money's dried up, you want to bring up something that you should have done something about it then and there, and you would have been backed up.
Yeah, yeah.
He is a scumbucket. I'm not justifying what he did, because acts like this show signs of mental instability.
Yeah.
There is something wrong mentally in his brain.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with you. But maybe you were a no-name actress and he was promising you to take you. So you took it, and now that you're a has-been, you want to... Like, this Me Too needs to be zoned, needs to be honed in on women right now.
Yeah.
Young actresses, young waitresses, young women in the workforce that are being abused in such a way, and they need to know that they have the power to stand up right now, not 20 years down the track. That's not a Me Too movement.
No.
That's being vindictive. That's trying to get somebody back for doing something to you, and now you're not making money anymore, so why not sue him? Try to get some more. I want a true Me Too movement is now. Right now. Defending your sister, my daughter, to make sure that no male or female, because let's not kid ourselves, right, in a position of power can use that position to hurt somebody. That's a true Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Not these has-been actors.
Yeah. Who used it and...
Craig McLaughlin came out. He won the court case.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now he's counter-suing.
Yeah.
Defamation.
As he should. As he should.
Okay, was he might have been, bit of an idiot,
Yeah.
but was he as bad as they made it out to be? Or was it the fact that they weren't as good actresses and they were fired? Because mind you, most of them I think were let go, and they used the excuse, he didn't like us. So they, maybe he didn't like you.
Maybe.
But that doesn't give you the right to accuse him that he put his hand on your breast or slapped you on the butt,
Yeah.
you know?
Wow, we went on a sidetrack, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It's things that we need to address.
No, an important sidetrack though. But the situation we have with Joe Biden, the people sticking their head in the sand, it's insane, and it's all for the cause. Now, if he does get, put in the White House, there's a lot of states, as we saw, 20 versus 20 states weren't happy. Texas, for example, one lawmaker has floated the idea of a referendum to secede from the union for the state to become its own nation. Isn't that insane? This is not looking good, guys. This is not looking good.
Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
Western Australia offered the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We're going to get a breaking point, and people these politicians, they don't realize what they're meddling with, and this is what I'm talking about when I say we're going in a bad direction. Populism is becoming very popular, and these ideas will continue to gain steam. And we've talked about Ricardo's party, and it's very important the way that it's moving forward, and it's got some good ideas. One of them is an example right here. Have you heard of Gavin Newsom?
Yes.
In Victoria?
Yes.
Sorry, not Victoria. It's the Victoria of the United States, California. California, because each state, guys, has a governor. In California, they've basically been going into lockdowns because they're going into winter.
That's a communist state.
Yeah, it's a communist state.
It's a communist state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And the situation they've got there is the people are so unhappy. There's so many businesses, liberal, progressive businesses that are so unhappy that they're basically doing a signature goal to remove or recall Gavin Newsom, their governor. Mm-hmm. And they can do that because that's in their constitution if you get a certain percentage on there.
Well, Ben Shapiro left.
Yeah. And
he moved his whole network, and we're talking
millions.
Not sure how
millions,
70 million or so. I think he moved it all to Colorado.
Yeah, something like that.
He's sick of it.
Insane.
And there's more, but nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, Joe Rogan left.
I mean, why are all these Hollywood superstars doing in Byron Bay?
Yeah.
Right? What are they doing? Maybe they're leaving. They've had enough.
Yeah.
Even them that support this idea of this communist sort of, movement, it's like they're basically saying to me, it's good for you, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't have, I'm not worth 120 million or 150 million or 250 million, right? To pack my stuff up and move.
Yeah.
I wish I did.
Yeah.
I'd buy an island and start I'd do Captain James Cook, and I'd started, first I'd check if there's Aboriginals there. Of course. If there is, I'd say, hello, how are you? Do you mind if I just buy this piece of land off you? And, I won't come in and give them the flu and kill 400,000 of them.
I didn't think it was
deliberate. I won't kidnap their children. But what I'm trying to say is these people have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they can do what they want.
Yeah.
We're talking about normal people who have a few $1,000s in the bank account, if they're lucky.
Yeah.
They're stuck.
Yeah, they're stuck.
And the people that are pushing this agenda are leaving.
Yeah.
But not Ben Shapiro. Love you, Ben. Right? But Ben's just had enough and said, stuff it.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm leaving. Who's coming? And his whole staff, 70-odd people, said, we're coming. Hold on. Let me put this in perspective, guys. 70 people said they're going to pack their house, sell their belongings, whatever, and move.
Yeah.
How bad how bad is it? Like, what more do you need proof that Americans are leaving a state that they were born and raised in to move to, how far is Colorado from California?
It's on the other side of the country.
That's it, right? So it's basically us saying, or Victorians saying, we've had enough of Dan Andrews.
Yeah.
We are leaving to the Northern Territory.
That's right. And you know what? There was one guy, James Bartolo, the guy where the police broke their door down earlier this year?
Yes.
Yeah, do you remember? I watched that live. I gave him he surprised me. He was at the Freedom Day March in Brisbane. The guy's moved into Queensland. And I gave him a big fat hug and I said, thank you for getting out. Well done. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you in good health. Not under the boot anymore, It's good to see.
But under whose boot? Trust me, the boot that the Victorians are under, Daniel Andrews is under it too.
Yeah.
You are not under Daniel Andrews' boot. He is under it too, but he's in a more privileged position.
Yeah.
Right? He has more immunity to what will be bestowed upon you by the grand masters of the CCP. Right?
Yeah.
This is a communist boot
Yeah.
on Victorians.
Yeah.
Right? And you know what? I hope all you Victorians, my house is open to anyone that says, I've had enough, this is a great exodus.
Yeah.
Right? I'll be Moses. I'll lead you out of Victoria.
Let my people go.
You know?
That's it.
This is insane. You are my people. We are. This is insane.
Yeah.
This dictator now, Jill Hensley.
Yeah,
right?
she the Attorney General, Jill Hensley.
Shut
MP.
her mouth. I mean, look at it. Look at her.
Yeah.
Seriously. She looks like a Chico roll in...
Her eyes red? Oh, they are too. Yeah, so the Attorney General, the person, and you did a great video on this, the person that's meant to be safeguarding and making sure things are done constitutionally in Victoria, she advises the government on the constitutionality of their actions. She did not do her job, and she's resigning. Why? Because the hotel quarantine situation came out, and I don't think it looks good for her. Not at all. And so she's had to resign, and it's not... Guys,
I just love the fact that they say, more time with my children.
Oh, yeah, they all say that.
Darling, you need more time at the hairdresser. Seriously. Yeah.
But look, how bad can these things get? This is a shocking story, and I'm surprised more people aren't talking about it. Huawei, they tested an AI software that could recognize Uyghur minorities, Uyghur Muslims, and alert police, the report says. Isn't that insane? Look at your face. You are shocked. Isn't that crazy? They can scan your face, say, okay, this guy's Syrian, Lebanese, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Let's arrest him. They automatically send a report to the police, go get this mother effer, basically, and they lock him up. Isn't that crazy? This is the 8th of December. This is just this last couple of weeks. Crazy. And you don't think this can come here? I've heard that a lot of Chinese technology has been used in Victoria. I haven't verified it. Facial recognition.
Everything in Victoria now is China.
Yeah, Belton. Is that a part of the Belt and Road Initiative? I'm not sure.
Of course.
It is? I'm not sure. I haven't read the agreement because they're so silent on the agreement. But this is alarming, guys. And, you got some good people like Drew Pavlo ringing the bell on the alarm on China and what they're doing to the Uyghur Muslims and the Tibetans and
they've been doing it
in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Nobody cares. All right? Mel Gibson, that handsome bloke that all the chicks freak out about, he's 50 years old and they still think he's 22.
Clooney. George Clooney. There's a few of them.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, okay.
Yeah, the one that can't make up his mind whether he likes a nice ass or big tit or fat lips. He just can't make up his mind. He keeps going from Jennifer Aniston to Angelina Jolie. Just stay with Angelina Jolie. Yeah. Anyway.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
He did that movie 7 years in Tibet.
Yeah.
You'd think he would have learned something about the persecution of the Tibet people.
Yeah.
Right? No, he's promoting Biden.
Yeah.
You know? The very people that are persecuting a movie that he made, he made a movie about them.
Yeah.
He's talking up the person that supports the people that are persecuting them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's funny how in his movies he plays anti-fascist, anti-communist, like Fury and all these movies and, Inglorious Bastards. Yet, in real life, the bloke is a Nazi.
Yeah. Doesn't realise it.
Doesn't realise it.
Yeah,
and it breaks my heart because I can see goodness in him.
Yeah. Yeah, the hero.
Right?
Yeah, it's low information people. That's the problem. You need to look into these things. And that's why you're so good, because you challenge your people to read articles and read up more and do fact-checking. And if you stand up to the machine, and this leads to our next story, where Australia has formally taken China to the World Health Organization. No. Let me start that again. Australia has taken China to the World Trade Organization. Big difference.
Yeah. Over
basically because the barley tariffs that have come through, they're saying, "What are you doing? You guys can't do this. This isn't fair. These aren't the rules we agreed to play by." I haven't read this article. I can't remember off the top of my head what the rate was, but China's been doing a number of these things. Basically, seems like they're just punishing Australia. Why? Because Australia has been getting Trump's back on a number of different things, like the coronavirus situation. We were pushing at the World Health Organization, we were pushing to get an investigation into the origins of the COVID-19 crisis. Was it from a lab? Was it from the Wuhan markets? We still don't know. Nothing decisive. China's basically, they're still getting very annoyed with us.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't see how this is going to help. World Trade Organization.
I'm going to ask two questions, right? Our biggest import of foreign students is China, and who else?
I don't know. Who's
India.
India, is it? Oh, there you go.
The two biggest populations of the world is China and who?
India.
Okay. So why do our politicians have their heads so far up the Chinese ass that they can't see that India exists? If China wants to, we don't want, piss off. We already have Indians coming over to learn here and work here and then go back, right? We already have, we can substitute a 1.4 billion population nation with another 1.4 billion people population.
Yeah.
We can substitute cheap manufactured stuff by a 1.4 billion people population nation to another one.
Yeah.
We have India.
Yeah.
Donald Trump sees this.
Yeah.
This is why China hates him. He said, F you, I'll go to India.
Yeah. Yeah, and we are actually doing that. I saw it a
Good.
few
So why do
months
we have
ago.
to put up with this rubbish for?
Because they're still our biggest trading partner. That's the problem. Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
And,
people get scared and they say they got 10 million soldiers.
Yeah.
Right now, as God is my witness, there are 25 million soldiers here in Australia. Simple as that. I don't understand. But the problem is we've got leaders that don't know how to make money.
No, they're not businessmen.
Okay?
They're not
They're
businessmen.
not.
They're lawyers, and
Right.
how many of them created a job? That's a good
With
question.
all due respect to teachers.
Yeah.
But when I was at TAFE doing building course, we had a joke. We said builders that don't know how to build, teach. Businessmen who do not know how to run a business become politicians.
Isn't that funny? Maybe that's why I'm pushing so hard against you to not go into politics.
Right? I wouldn't go into politics because I wouldn't last more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the second I walk in there
You're
and
censored.
see these pompous ass little pricks, wannabes,
Yeah.
I would bitch slap every single one of them and I would be charged with assault,
Yeah.
arrested,
Yeah.
and put in prison.
Yeah, and
now,
censored.
while I like that idea,
Yeah.
I do not want to live without my kids and wife.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they seriously, they irritate the shit out
I
of me.
bet they do, Romeo. I bet they
You know?
do. I think that's hilarious, and this will irritate you even more. We talk about no jab, no kids, no jab, no school, no jab, no travel.
Yeah.
Well, get this: no jab, no job. That's a new one. Who could have seen that coming? This is from the Courier Mail, where Queensland's biggest employers consider no jab, no pay policy to force workers to get a vaccine. No pay. Isn't that like a violation of your
Human rights?
Human rights, the Fair Trading Act
They
or
can
something?
do what they like.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it?
No, these media and companies, I'm looking you straight in the eye. All the CEOs, I'll tell you straight. Do what you want. But if the Australian people, and I'm going to say 60%, which is about right, that are against all of this, because we're going to say 40% are with it, because if there wasn't 40%, none of this would have been happening.
Yeah.
Okay? There's enough to push it in their favour. But I'm going to say if 60% of Australians finally say enough's enough, we are standing united,
Yeah.
what have we got to lose? I did a post live about it today.
Yeah.
Oh, a post about it today. I didn't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
No job, no jab, no job. We already don't have any jobs.
Yeah.
All right? No jab, no school. Our children have been at home, even though we've gone back to... You know how many times my kids come home at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock? This whole year? It's been a waste for education. Right? No jab, no fly. Stuff that. I'll drive to where I'll go. I'll go to the Central Coast, South Coast. I'll drive to Queensland, stop at Byron Bay, say hello to a couple of those commie movie stars that have ran away from California, pay an $8 coffee that used to cost $2.50. Right? But seriously, guys, it's up to us. I'll tell you all. How long are you going to survive when 60% of the workforce says, stuff you, I'm not taking it, I'm not going to work?
Yeah.
Guys, you can lose your house. You can lose your bank accounts. And that can always be replaced. Always. But if any of you can look me in the face and say, can you replace one child? Can you replace the love of your life? That's what the question is. If you can replace one of your child because he had an allergic reaction to an unproven vaccine that was pushed and a supposed legal vaccine was pushed back and not funded by the Australian government, so this Pfizer vaccine can come through. If you can look me in the face and say that you can replace your child, if you lose him, God forbid, or her, then I'll give up my whole campaign and I'll stand in line to get the jab.
Yeah. And there was a safe one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What happened to that? The April one. Where is it? You know, that's the most egregious part of all.
Now, people said to me, I'm pushing the vaccine. I am not pushing the vaccine.
You're not.
I'm pushing free choice.
For freedom,
But isn't it nice to have a vaccine that says no side effects?
Yeah.
Right?
No side effects.
Safe.
Yeah.
Maybe then if you say, Romeo, if you don't take the jab, you don't have a job. Okay, what's in it? It's, for the Muslims, it's halal. Has no baby matter in it. Has no aluminium salts in it. Has no, what's the other one? Shark liver in it.
Yep.
It basically offends every single person on this planet and their belief.
Yeah. It won't trigger your allergies.
Yeah.
It won't. You can still drink alcohol.
Right.
It won't affect pregnant ladies.
What's wrong with you people? 2 months, no beer. It's like that song. It's worse than a, what's that song? In a pub with no beer.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Mate, that is before my time.
But seriously.
I know it's ridiculous. Like, why not have some choice? What's the problem? You know, what happened to freedom?
I don't care about my house.
Yeah.
If I will not lose my job. I will resign if my company forces me. I will resign. I'll walk away in a heartbeat. And I'll take it as an opportunity and a sign by God that, Romeo, you need to move on to better things. And that might mean I will lose my house. That might mean I will lose my income. But that means nothing to me. If I can't see my son and 2 daughters and my wife's beautiful face every day until the day I leave them. That's what I'm telling you. This virus is bullshit.
Yeah.
And the vaccine is double bullshit.
Yeah.
Please wake up.
It is. We in the ideal world, we'd have some choice over this, and even then, wouldn't be mandated. You know, if they really wanted, honestly, if I was strategizing for the overlords and the government, and I was like, okay, the people aren't listening to me. This is a genuine problem, and we need to solve it. And we need to bring in, for example, a mask. We need people to wear masks. I wouldn't mandate it because there are going to be people who would have done it normally if you made an option. But once you mandate it, they're like, oh, actually, you know what? No, there's something's fishy. I don't want to wear it now. You know, I don't trust you. And here's an example, guys, because this is a long line of, I think we all feel like the COVID-19 crisis is being used to push through an agenda. And before COVID-19, before the pandemics, what did we have? We had climate change. Remember the start of the year? Where's it gone?
How dare you? Where's she?
She went back to school.
Finally!
I know, right? Isn't it funny? Because she was really sad because she wasn't getting attention anymore. But no, this is a reminder, guys, that this is my view of climate change. It's happening. It's out of humans' control right now. The mankind does contribute, but it's a small percentage compared to what they're making it out to be. And the fact that we think we can fix this just like that in a few years is amazing. But the change is happening so slowly.
But we don't even need to fix it. The planet fixes it.
Exactly. It's not us.
It's not.
Did you ever consider they never consider the sun the biggest thing that affects planets?
It's actually nature itself that does the most carbon
emissions. Volcanoes.
Okay. I think Alan Jones showed a graph once. There was 100 balls of pollutants.
Yeah.
Mankind is half a ball.
Yeah.
Yet it's up to us. Everything else.
Yeah.
But what I love about it the most was these 100 balls, 99 of them, or 99 and a half, are needed to make us live on this planet. Without one of these balls, life seems to cease. Right? It's like what whales eat.
Plankton.
Plankton.
Yeah.
It's needed. It's the basis of the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? Everything based,
Yeah.
So I just find I love these climate change activists now. How they're all quiet.
Yeah.
The Greens, you dirty motherfucker. They're all quiet.
Yeah,
What's his name? The Four Eyes. That freaking nerd that looked like he burnt himself with a Bunsen burner.
The head of the Greens Party. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Bant?
yeah. Just Bant. Yeah, Bant. He's a.
Where is he?
He's a piece of work.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Where is he? That filthy little.
Yeah,
I want to step on him like a cockroach. Seriously, he is a cockroach.
Yeah, these white
At least the guy before him.
He's irrelevant.
The Italian guy that sounds like Lamborghini.
He's irrelevant now.
You know.
Yeah.
He's gone. You know. Dentali.
Di Natale.
Di Natale.
Yeah.
I just every time I remember him, I think like Lamborghini. I can't remember that. You know, it sounds like a coffee brand. Would you like a cup of Di Natale?
Di Natale. He's a real piece of work. I'm not a fan of that guy.
Oh, he left.
Yeah.
You don't want. I heard rumors as to why he left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd been in the battle for a while.
Oh, apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently he saw one of my posts where I called him a leech that's sucking on my balls.
That has nothing to do with it. How does that have anything to...
I told him a story ages ago about when I was in the Army Reserve and we walked through a river and as we got out, long story short, Sergeant said, guys, take off your pants, check yourselves for leeches, which was normal, you know. Ask Ricardo, leeches are... and one of my mates, he turned around, like we were all not facing each other, we all turned around, you know, checking our, you know, area and that to see, and he turned around and screamed and said, you know, I said, what's wrong? He turned around and he had a leech on his testicle, and it was the size of, he looked like he had 3 testes. All of us tried to take it off, and anyone that knows what a leech does, it sucks on, it's got teeth.
God
and we're tugging on this.
Why are you tugging on him? Use salt, use fire. What are you doing tugging on his balls?
So we used vinegar and it exploded, you know. He had gone from, you know, a man to looking like a woman with her periods because there's just blood everywhere. I'm sorry, that's a disclaimer. But I basically said to him, you are the leech on the Australian testicle.
And
you're just sucking us dry. And he saw this post and apparently he lost it. He absolutely lost it. He wanted to kill me.
And that's why he resigned.
Yep. Oh, that's my story anyway.
All paths lead to Romeo's stories. Oh dear, that's hilarious. The Greens.
I think he had enough. That's just a joke, but he did have enough.
Yeah.
I think he knew he wasn't winning this battle.
He'd been in the battle for a very long time. I mean, before him it was that other guy, Brown or something.
Oh, Brown.
Oh my gosh, that guy was a piece of work.
Yeah, Brown was like...
But like they're all using this agenda to get through. And here's an example, guys, of the deaths from climate and non-climate catastrophes from 100 years ago to now.
Yep.
Look how much it's declined.
It's a catastrophe.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great how few people are dying due to climate? Yet no, they
everything is better.
Yeah.
Right? Less people are dying.
Yeah.
Life expectancy. You sent it to me.
Yeah.
That gentleman from America who was making fun of Greta.
Yeah.
I don't even call her Greta. I just say making fun of. How dare you?
How dare you?
Anyway, everything is better.
Yeah, it's great. Isn't it great? Why are we complaining?
Because that's what the Greens and Climate Act, they're just so fucking miserable in their life.
Yeah, they're pretty miserable.
But that's not my fault. You got to stop wearing hemp. Go buy shoes. Right? Stop finding sandals.
Shave your legs. We talked about that in the first podcast together. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might make some progress there.
Well, seriously,
Cut on, man. These people, I feel sorry for them.
a woman is supposed to look like a woman.
Mm.
You know? There's no, and look, last night I took my children to get some ice cream from Marrickville.
Yeah.
I grew up in Marrickville. I love Marrickville. I loved Marrickville when it was an area people lived there because that's where they could afford. It was cheap, right? We grew up having fun. We grew up tough. I'm buying them ice cream and, I'm looking left and I'm looking right. And all I see, I sent a message to my mate and I said, I am surrounded by butch lesbians. My wife looked at me and I said to my wife, I said, are you attracted to any of them, Jules? She goes, no.
Yeah.
I said, where are the good-looking lesbians?
Yeah.
Why is Marrickville now butch lesbian city?
Yeah.
And they're so rude and they're men
Yeah.
men in dresses,
Yeah.
right? And I've seen attractive lesbians. I've got nothing to go. But Marrickville now is butch lesbian heaven.
Yeah.
And they push in the line and they're very confrontational.
Yeah. Yeah. Very aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with being a lesbian.
No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't.
It has nothing to do with being a homosexual. It has nothing to do with being a heterosexual. It has everything to do with being a decent human being with respects for oneself and others. But they don't. That's who these Greens are. They don't respect. They're miserable.
Yeah. They really are. That's why I feel sorry for them, because it's like if they just they were showed a bit more love in their life, they may have turned out completely differently. And that's a funny thing. I said it in the first podcast. Why is it that politics tends to attract people with psychological problems? Honestly, either they have a lust for power, Kamala Harris, or like Hillary Clinton,
Yes.
or they've got problems in their own life they don't want to
Hillary Clinton is evil.
solve. She is evil.
That's she's evil.
We can all agree on that. Over 100 million people in America can agree on that.
She couldn't even do her job as a wife. So how do you think she's going to do her job as a politician? Like, seriously. As a man, I've got a job to do. I've got commitments to my wife.
Yeah.
And if I don't fulfill those commitments, it leads
Yeah.
to loneliness, breakdown of marriage, and then she'll leave me.
Yeah.
Same with her. I mean, this man was as much of a scumbag as he is. If she ever did anything to try and please him, I don't think he would cheat as much as this man did. He spent how many years? 4 years having sex in the Oval Office with everybody except his wife. That's what Bill Clinton achieved.
Yeah.
He's renowned for being the bloke that laid more women in the Oval Office than any other president before him.
Well,
wow, what an accomplishment!
Yeah. I wonder if anyone will break that record. I wanted to touch on this topic. We mentioned how corruption is rampant, and people like Hillary Clinton, we can all get behind that and say she's a evil human being, ugly soul. Similarly, I feel like we can make the same argument with Joe Biden. And I suspect that the progressives and the conservatives will get behind, they will unite on hating that person. 100 million people, I've said, that voted in the last election will get behind and hate both of them. And I made the point on Twitter, I said, mark my words, there will come a day when progressives and conservatives will unite to face the political class. Here's an example of that. Someone posted a Bernie Sanders tweet and they replaced his name with Trump's on there, and it seems to be quite popular. And it's really funny. So this is what Bernie Sanders wrote. He said, wages subsidised by the government during a pandemic. And then he lists all of them, and he's got Canada, $2,000 a month, Japan, up to 100%, and then he goes down to a number of different countries, and then he gets to the USA and he has 0%. He said, that is an international embarrassment. The working class needs our help now. Someone put Trump's photo on that, and it's getting quite a lot of traction on a subreddit on Reddit.
The left ran with this, unbelievable.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Yeah.
It was like chicken soup on a cold, winter night.
Yeah.
They were asking for seconds and thirds. Greedy
Yeah.
Yeah, but they just goes to show, like, you researched it. You found out it wasn't.
No. No.
Did they?
No, they didn't.
I'm sure they did, but they loved it.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a funny thing, though. There's a lot in common. It's populism, isn't it? And similarly, what we've got going on in the UK is going on as well. Just as the US establishment is pushing to fatigue the votes of 74 million people in the US, the UK and the European Union establishment is also trying to fatigue the 2016 vote to leave the European Union. And this comes on the back of the news that once again, the can is being kicked down the road. Brexit trade talks with the UK and the EU, they will go an extra mile, and they're taking another extension. So they're not going to do Boris Johnson. He should be going for a no deal Brexit, but he's not. He's just going to extend again and do nothing. Do you see how they sort of fatigue you? They grind you down and down and down. We've got to learn these lessons, because they will continue to do this to Australia as well. And what did we hear this week? We heard that China, there were leaked files that exposed millions of China's top Communist Party members, tying them to UK firms around the world, on Wall Street in Australia. And this was the Australian newspaper that broke this. Isn't that crazy? What's going on?
Can any of you tell me you can't honestly see that we are already infiltrated by the Communist Party?
We all see it.
When they were buying up, and I'm not Chinese hating right now, I'm just stating the fact. When they were buying up all the toilet paper and the baby formulas, and during our lockdowns and our, everything was running out, do you honestly think they did that because they were going to make a shitload of money in a communist state? Do you not ask yourself, were they ordered to empty us out from our medicine, our baby formulas and our toilet paper? Even though that's a lie, we never ran out of toilet paper, just, government and the media made a big thing.
No, but it's a good point, though. All the property companies buying all the PPE gear, sending it over to China.
Yeah.
Did we forget about that?
We did. Have a look at right now. And I'm, again, not hating. I'm a very curious human being. How many Asians have you seen not wearing a mask? How many? Is it because they're seriously concerned about the coronavirus, or is it a order by their governing body? There is Pompeo, is it?
Mike Pompeo, yeah.
He came out and said that Chinese students, university students in the United States, had like a Zoom meeting, and they used fake names so the party could not know that it was them that was speaking against the Communist Party.
Yeah.
They live outside of China, yet they still fear the country they left. How many Chinese here in Australia are in the same predicament, that they still have to answer to their old government?
Yeah.
So to the Chinese people of Australia, this is your country.
Yeah.
You are one of us. If there is a problem, speak up.
Yeah. That's right. And I've aired that opinion many times, where I said they're not all Communist Party stooges. A lot of them are trying to escape China.
Yep.
And a lot of them are buying up land in Western Sydney, for example, or in rural Australia. Don't assume that they're just Chinese Communist Party that want to build an airfield there and invade Australia. That's not the case. A lot of, it's yet to be seen that is the case for any of them. But don't assume that, because a lot of them are just trying to get their money out of China because it'll be confiscated or whatever. They're like anyone else. They have a family. They want to retain control of what they work hard for, and they're worried that the Chinese Communist Party will try and get it.
I'll tell you a story. It's a true story. It happened to me, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things. And this probably close home with you. Many years ago, when I had a cement rendering business, and I had quite a few guys working for me. I was doing very, very well. Thank God. I had one Syrian guy. I had Romanians. I had Portuguese. I had Lebanese. But there was one Syrian guy. And I loved him. He was a great guy. He worked for me for about 1 year, 1.5 years. And in those 1.5 years, any chance he got, he would hammer Hafez al-Assad, the father of Bashar al-Assad. He'd say he's bad, he's this, he's that. He'd give it to him. After 1.5 years, I hired another Syrian guy. But my original Syrian employee, I'm saying Syrian, they're Australian, but, to tell you the story, he went quiet because he didn't know him. So as a joke one day after finishing work and we're all leaving, I said to my worker, how come you're not hammering Hafez al-Assad anymore? He goes, Romeo, I'm scared. I said, scared of what? He said, the other Syrian guy, I don't know who he is. I don't know who he knows. So I'll stay quiet because I got family in Syria. And if he knows somebody, he can just make one phone call and my family disappears.
Yeah.
And I knew then and there that people do escape whatever bad position they're in, but they still have families still stuck in that position.
Yeah.
So I asked myself this question, are the Chinese Australians in that same predicament where they have to follow an order or my family disappears?
Possibly. Probably. Yeah, Occam's razor, the most probable reason
I know
is,
that family break, as I said before, a twig that breaks your ankle. And, but it's I find it weird how they just follow every single thing that is said by China, yet they live here.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make me hate them.
Yeah.
It makes me ask, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. I wanted to touch on an interesting, because there have been a bunch of different topics we've covered today. A lot of it is unifying as well, which has been very unusual for the show. Normally we go after politicians, but we've actually got an example of a politician doing good. So have you heard of Tulsi Gabbard before?
Yeah.
Beautiful young lady. Yeah, I see the smile on your face.
She's
Beautiful young lady.
She's got an actress face, doesn't she?
She certainly does. She didn't run for re-election this year, believe it or not. So she ran to get the presidency position, but she didn't run for re-election in the House. I don't know why, but she didn't. And so guess what she's doing? She's burning the House down on her way out.
Yeah.
Because she's a Democrat, guys.
Yeah.
These are 3 things she proposed. One of the things was she said she backed Trump 100%.
One second.
Yeah, go for it.
1 second. She's a Republican in her heart.
Yeah.
Because look at the sunshine. Republicans are just, poison drops from their chin.
Yeah.
Not Republicans, Democrats. But
Democrats.
look at her. She's a pretty...
Yeah,
she's a Republican.
You're onto something. But maybe she's not a Republican. Maybe she's just a populist. Maybe she's just in tune with the people's want. Because we don't like Republicans that much, do we? The do-nothing Republicans.
Maybe she's a Malcolm Turnbull.
There's one in
good old lefty Malcolm pretending he's a righty.
There's one in every country.
Yeah.
So what did she propose this last week? What did we see these last 2 weeks? You know how Donald Trump was trying to oppose Section 230?
Yes.
She's with him on that.
She's with him on that.
She's like, it needs reform. So she proposed a bill for that. She also introduced a bill to protect the Born Alive Amendment, which protects infants who are survivors of abortions, which is excellent to hear.
Which we all know that they wanted to, if you want an abortion and it's born alive, they could kill it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know that in Victoria they had like 50-something babies that were born like that, and they were left to die in a bucket, as Ricardo has said in the past, and they stopped taking...
How do you do that?
It's insane. You got to have no soul.
If we just think about it, me and you can feel tears build up in your eyes. Yeah. What kind of soulless human being must you be to be able to do that?
It's crazy. And at least she has the sense to oppose it. She also
She looks like a mum.
she does look like a mum, but not yet. She's engaged, but not yet. She
Oh, yeah,
also
darling.
actually she has a boyfriend. I don't know if they're engaged, but she also proposed a bill to ban biological males from competing in women's sports.
Yes,
which
that's
is
what I want to-
excellent. And she said my Protect Women's Sports Act simply protects the rights and interests of girls and women who participate in sports so they can compete on a level playing field. Denying biological differences between men and women undermines the reasons why Title IX was created in the first place. Title IX was basically a part of legislation that the Americans put forward, which would allow women's sporting teams at schools to receive funding. Now, all of this appears to be basically defying what Tulsi Gabbard should be doing on the Democratic Party. But she's leaving in January, guys.
Where's
she's
she
leaving.
going?
George, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe she wants to start a family.
Maybe crossing the floor.
No. She's not. She hasn't won a re-election. You reckon she'll run again on a Republican ticket? I don't know.
I don't know. What do you do? She just sounds like a woman with common sense,
Yeah.
with a level head,
Yeah.
and doesn't seem to hate everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair. Just because, and I'm going to say it, just because a male removes his genitalia, right, and grows breasts, and mentally thinks that he's a woman, and I got that's each to their own. Ben Shapiro's, stated this. There is in your DNA
Yeah.
something that'll keep you a male. Unless you remove that, which will kill you, you're a male.
Yeah.
Now, you might want to be called a female, and I respect that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say if you want me to call you Danny, I'll call you Danny. Right? That's fine. But you are a male.
Yeah.
So to go in and take on a woman, right? That's not fair.
Yeah. It's domestic violence, isn't it? It's
Right?
not good. It's not good.
Because the woman, I guarantee you, is not seeing a fellow female competitor against her. She is seeing a male.
Yeah. Exactly. Get the crap beaten out of her.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Okay.
It's not good.
But here's the thing. This is how they like to play it, not her, but the Democrats and the Greens. They like to say, and you're going to love this. You're going to actually, if you see me, you're going to kiss me. They like to say, athletes like 100-meter sprinters.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, what about boxers? Would you allow a male boxer who's now a female enter a ring and punch on with a woman?
Not yet. Maybe soon.
I can tell you, what's her name? What's her name? Forget her name.
Who's that?
The Ultimate Fighter, female. She was champion.
Oh, yeah. I know which one. Yeah. She was in that movie, Fast and Furious movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I forgot
Guys,
her
what's her name? Somebody write it down.
Someone write it down. Yeah, but that one.
She'd knock out about any male. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
that's not. She's just very well trained.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thought of a male punching on a female, is that acceptable?
no, not at all.
Just because she's got long hair, tits, but she has the strength of a male, do you accept that?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, it's not going to
I
happen.
don't think it's fair. The female might kick his ass.
Yeah.
But it's still technically a male punching a female.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It shouldn't be happening. Not
No.
at all. Yeah.
There we go.
Let's finish on this last thing
hello.
before we get into super chats. So the vaccine we've touched on a few times. I know. Look what happened in Queensland, because apparently there's a vaccine which was being developed up there, and they had to axe the trials with Australia because it turned out they used HIV positive, a false positive there, and so basically this has been thrown out because of this revelation. So we've had a viable vaccine since April, yet here we are still having problems with these other ones which are being rushed. Why did we have the one developed so quickly in April? Because they worked on the SARS virus, which is a strain of COVID.
They stopped and then restarted.
Yeah, that's it. Nice and easy. Just insane, isn't it?
Can somebody please tell me why ScoMo's doing finger painting?
That's what you're chuckling at? Did you see the time? I've got to show you the photos of him doing ballet.
Please.
You're going to love it.
Seriously, don't you love politicians that pretend they know what... in his head he's going, can I get some blue paint? Blue paint.
I showed it to Ricardo. He was going to flip a table when he saw oh my God.
They just love to pretend that they know what they're talking about.
They have no idea.
Why is he wearing safety glasses?
Yeah. I don't know.
Why is he wearing a white robe?
Not a clue. Not a clue, honestly. Honestly, Romeo, this has been a crazy week. It's been relatively quiet, especially on the US front. We usually spend a lot of time talking about the US, but we are waiting to see what happens with Trump, aren't we? We're all on the edge of our seat.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been saying they think they know what's going on. Clearly, they don't, because we've seen week goes week, and there's nothing that happens. Nothing gets, comes through. The Kraken got released, ended up being a small calamari.
Now we know why you sacked her.
Yeah, well, she was never on the Trump team technically, but look, she's still that's Sidney Powell, guys. Yeah, look, that's technically not even. She wasn't actually on the team. She was. It would have been a conflict of interest if she was. She was also Michael Flynn's lawyer, so that's why they distanced themselves from her. So it was shown that she was clearly not a.
If you still think this is about Donald Trump versus Biden, if you still think that this is Republicans versus Democrats, or if you think that it's Republicans versus Biden or Biden versus Republicans versus Biden or Biden versus whatever it is, Republicans.
Yeah.
It's not. It's good versus evil.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's that simple. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Everything we're trying to fight for is for betterment of humanity, and everything they're doing is to bring the darkness upon humanity, the misery.
Yeah.
If you do, these people are worse than my mum. If you do not do this, this will happen.
Yeah.
Till we finally decide to grow up and say, you know what, Mum, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Remember my spaghetti post? Keep pushing that spaghetti until they finally tell us, get up and go to your room.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, guys, next week we'll be back with Romeo again. We're gonna hopefully we get to get some more news on what's been going on. It's a strange time because it's sort of the holiday season, but there are things we need to cover. These concepts like with climate change, how they push this BS around to try and get more power that we have to touch on. But we're about to take some super chats from people live now. But Romeo, thank you for coming in this week. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joel. I enjoy waking up at 2:00 in the morning, rushing home, having a shower and a shave, and then driving here, only to wait for you to finish your shower while I stand outside waiting for Joel to open up.
Well, it's fashionably late to my own party. Romeo's shaking his head. It's just like the Facebook live stream, which I thought was on Instagram. Your fans still haven't forgiven me on that. You know, we got like 30,000 views on that. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
No, you did.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah.
They come to see the eyebrows.
They do. They pay good money for that.
You know, I've had to compete. That's why I've readjusted my game. You know,
yeah. Oh, awesome. I can't wait for in 2 weeks' time we've got you, Ricardo, and me, and we're going to have a ball. Yeah. Might even have to make it a Joe Rogan 3-hour show. But
yeah, why not?
Who knows? Who knows?
Why not?
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening, and Romeo, thanks again for your time.
Thanks, mate. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I don't care.
F off. All right, see you guys.
So,